All right, we are live again. This is Dr. Matthew, a physical therapist, and yes, I'm your alternative health care career coach. Today, we're going to be interviewing Susie. She's an occupational therapist and OT adaptive driver specialist. We'll be back in a few seconds. Okay, we'll be back. Hello, we are back. Hey, look at me. Look at me. I got that virtual background. I'm fancy now. We got that green screen and just being amazing, right? But again, if you're watching live, comment live, watching on a replay, comment replay. And today we have a special guest. Her name is Miss Susie Touchinsky. I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. She's an occupational therapist, and she has this company called Adaptive Mobility. Check her out, adaptivemobility.com. But she's going to be speaking in our virtual Geriatric Rehab Summit this coming March. And let me just introduce her real quick. She's an OTR, certified driver rehab specialist. We're going to ask her what do they do, and the owner of Adaptive Mobility Services in southeastern PA. So it says here for decades, right? She doesn't look like she has lived in a decade, so she looks so young. Susie has been committed to helping drivers understand and improve their driving ability and confidence after medical illness, a major medical event, health conditions, and injury. Okay, without further ado, let's go ahead and bring in Miss Susie Touchinsky. Miss Susie, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right?
You're saying it better than me. It's excellent.
Really? Well, thank you. Appreciate you. Well, anyway, could you please tell us again who you are? What do you do? And then, what? How can you help us first find an alternative career? And of course, what is adaptive mobility too?
Right. So my name is Susie Touchinsky. I'm an occupational therapist, and I've obtained my specialty certification in driving and community mobility, and I'm a certified driver rehabilitation specialist. All that together basically means I'm a really big OT geek about driving. I just really enjoy driving. In my private practice, Adaptive Mobility Services, I work with clients one-on-one in their home, in their community, helping them to see if they have the skills to return to driving. So if we've had somebody who's had a stroke and it's affected one side or the other, I might work with them to see if they need adaptive driving equipment. Or if I have somebody who has had a concussion and we want to see if they have the attention to be on the road. So I work with people, we do some things in the home so I can understand them. Then we get in the car and I have a driving rehab vehicle that they can drive in so I can see how it's all coming together.
Wow. So you go to their homes and then you assess them for their driving abilities. And then you also bring your own, a vehicle, adaptive vehicle or something like that.
Yeah. So I have, my company is unique. So usually a driving rehab specialist you'll find based out of a hospital or an outpatient center. And I wanted to set it up where I could work with people in their communities on the roads that they know. Because one thing is, if you see a driving rehab specialist, you're always getting into their own driving rehab car. Our driving rehab cars are like our clinics, so we know them inside and out and we can control them as we need to. I have a really fun Subaru Forester that's been outfitted with all kinds of equipment. And then for some clients, we even get into my Tesla.
Wow. So you have this, you have your own, you're like a postman that has their own driving.
I have my own brake, and then I have really long arms so I can get to the steering wheel that way.
Okay, I thought you had your own steering wheel too on their side.
Yeah,
Have you
I
seen
found
that
I don't need
commercial or
it. I'm
that
good with the
movie when?
break.
But you do have the brake on your side, huh?
Yeah. So as an anyone who wants to get
Wow,
into
that's
driving
amazing.
rehab, we're sorry. I was gonna say, anyone who wants to get into driving rehab, we are trained. And so the other part of my company is I bought from my mentor, and it's education on how to become a driving specialist. So it includes about 40 hours of classroom work. And then we get 20 hours of hands-on training so we know how to work in a moving vehicle with clients, how to control the brake, how to stop in an emergency, how to anticipate what they might do based on their diagnosis. So I'm lucky enough I get to provide that education as the other half of my company.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. So, what? I mean, first of all, obviously you're an OT, occupational therapist. We're actually streaming this in our private group, Alternative Careers group, in the Alzheimer's and Dementia Support group. So, the on their YouTube channel and everything. So, could you, so why driving rehab? I mean, is this a special thing that you really want, or is this like a niche that you wanted even before, or so? Why did you started this?
You know, everyone asks me that, especially my parents. Why are you going to do that? I love driving because it is something most people want to do. Most people want it to be able to connect with their community. So it's after your injury or illness and you get up on your feet and you're walking and you get to the toilet, people want to be able to go somewhere. And so driving is so valued. As a therapist, I also love addressing driving because it puts demands on all of my skills. So, assessing vision, cognition, coordination, sensation, everything I've got to think about together to complete this one task. So, I think in some ways, maybe it was a calling. Not everybody's into it. Um, but what the thing I'm really passionate about these days is as OTs and PTs in speech, there's something we can all do to screen people for driving so that they can get to the specialist. And so that's what I plan to talk about with the Geriatric Virtual Summit is how the primary practitioner in their clinic, in their outpatient center, in the hospital, how they can all screen for driving, start the question, and get people to the appropriate resources like myself.
I love what you said there. I love it. I don't know if you're still watching live, comment live, watching on a replay, comment replay. I like what you said there, ladies and gentlemen. Driving is very essential. All right, it's very important to us. I mean, I wouldn't be able to go to my clinic without driving, right? I mean, imagine you already strengthen yourself at the hospital. You already receive home health. Well, how can you go to outpatient? How can you go to your doctor's appointment? How can you go to your grocery shopping? Shopping clothes or whatever. Go to your grandkids, to your family member, if you cannot drive yourself. So this is very, very key component in the recovery in the rehab world. So thank you for stepping up. And Susie, I also wanted to point out what Susie mentioned about finding that niche. All right, there's a lot of people in our group in the therapy world will say, "Oh, I don't know how to do this. Maybe I'm niching down too much." There are a lot of people wanting to learn how to drive again. Stroke patients, Parkinson's patients. Doc, when I was working at the hospital, the physicians would order, "Hey, Michael, this patient able to drive?" It's us, therapists, who is in the best position to tell this patient, "Hey, you're safe to drive. Yes, you can turn your head left and right. Can you turn your trunk? Can you move your shoulders when you're turning around that steering wheels? Is your eye movement still normal?" Because some people they just move their eye, they get dizzy already. So those are very key components in the recovery and the rehabilitation of the driver. So where did Susie go? Miss Susie, where you at? There you go. So Miss Susie, where can we learn from you? Where can we find you and stuff like that?
Yeah, so I have a good website. It's adaptivemobility.com. When you get to that website, there's pretty clear you can either click if you're a driver or click if you're a therapist. I did want to share, so I'm an OT by background, and so my target has been OTs. But the field of driving rehab and the specialty of driving rehab is open to physical therapists. I know some speech therapists who do this as well. It's a specialty field we can all explore and get into. And there is, if you go to the website and you check out the education, there's also a free course. You can check it out and see if this is kind of the right fit for you.
Wow, wow. So it could be for a patient and for a therapist, huh? Because of course, us, I mean, I want to learn more from you. So that's good. That's good. Well, I see Miss Sue commenting live. Miss Sue, what's going on? Sue Doyle, she's also an occupational therapist. So again, I have another question for you, Miss Susie. What is the biggest challenge right now that encountering both as a therapist who's wanting to start their adaptive mobility or driver rehab, and of course as an OT? What's your biggest challenge, and how did you turn this around?
I think for me, my biggest challenge was having the courage to take the step to do this on my own. I started my business, it'll be 4 years in April that I've been running my own private practice. And honestly, in hindsight, my biggest regret is that I didn't do something like this sooner. So I think my biggest challenge as an individual, even as a therapist, has been finding the courage and the motivation to take the chance and to realize that as practitioners, we're really well skilled in finding these alternative healthcare opportunities and really making it big and making it work. Um, so I think that's one of my biggest challenges. One of my other challenges can be the state licensing administration, but that's not that's a challenge we all can face. Oh, Mike, I can't hear you.
I guess that's my challenge, learning how to unmute myself.
I am with you. I'm lucky I haven't
Well,
done that
anyway,
yet.
I love what Susie said. I know, right? I did that too the other day. Well, anyway, I like what Miss Susie said. If you're watching live, comment live. Watching a replay, comment replay again. Uh, Here, I asked her. I asked Miss Susie, "What is your biggest challenge?" You know what she answered? What she said? Oh, hello, Miss Sue. Love driving assessment. Thank you. We love it too. We love you, Sue. Uh, her thing is that she regretted that she didn't start it sooner. And that's, sometimes we like to analyze. We're analyzing all the time. Are we supposed to start this? Are we supposed to do this? We're analyzing and analyzing. We're not taking action. Stop analyzing. Stop the analysis paralysis. That's what Miss Susie was talking about. There's nothing wrong analyzing. We analyze the stuff all the time, but we have to take that first step of taking action. Me too. I wish I could have started sooner. Our Geriatric therapy, I wish I could have started sooner. But because of immigration, I cannot. But if I was given the chance to do this, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, I wish because I could have changed more people's lives. And in Susie's case, she could have saved more people's life. Why? Because people are out there driving, not even safe. All right, we got patients coming in here in our clinic. I do know they're driving, but the question is, are they safe to do it? That's the question there. All right, thank you again, Miss Susie. I appreciate you. I know you're a very busy person. Any last parting wisdom for our team, for our group? And could you please invite them in our Geriatric Rehab Summit too? What day you're going to speak and time, the magic
Yeah.
that you're going to do there?
So you guys can come find me. I will be presenting at the summit on Friday, March 11th from 1 to 3. I believe that's East Coast time. I'm going to present on how you can implement a driving risk assessment in your primary care practice. So this is really kind of how to get your feet wet without becoming a specialist, the things you can do to screen, what your role is, and then how to connect to a specialist. So, and then of course we can build from there, but come on in, we're going to have a lot of fun, a lot of case examples. We have some good giveaways as well. We're really trying to do all we can to support this summer. It's going to be a great, great, great event.
Thank you very much again, Miss Susie, for joining us today. Appreciate you off the call and being amazing and being awesome. So again, check her out. Adaptive Mobility. Where did that go? AdaptiveMobility.com. It's both for therapists and also for clients who needs training and education with regards to driver rehab. Again, before I let you go, always remember the word fast. FAST, letter F. Find people that will bring out the best in you because you are the average of the 5 people you hang out with. So who with? Today I hang out with Miss Susie Touchinsky. Hope I'm saying that right. Because I feel like I want to be a driver rehab, right? I want to be like, let's go ahead and train you. I think I'm going to implement that too. Patient will be able to safely go in and out of the car with minimal to moderate whatever contact guard assist in 4 weeks with proper head movement, upper extremity movement, lateral eye, shoulder, elbow flexion, neck flexion. I'll probably add that on my goals. I feel like, I'm a driver rehab now because I hang out with Miss Susie, right? Next letter is letter A. Take action. Take action by reaching out to her. Go to her website, adaptivemobility.com. Go and attend our virtual geriatric summit. You're going to learn a lot. I'm going to be speaking there too, but I'm expecting I'm going to learn a lot. Because I'm going there not just to speak, I'm going there just to also learn. And same thing when I'm seeing patients, I'm not teaching them all the time. Yes, I'm being a therapist, but I'm also learning from these patients. All right, so you got to learn how to take action and learn. Next letter is letter S. Share and subscribe. The more shares, the better. The more subscriptions, the better. So, Miss Susie, do you have a Facebook page that they can go to? Is it also Adaptive Mobility Facebook page?
So come join me at Driving Rehab for the OT on Facebook, or you can visit the Adaptive Mobility Facebook page.
There you go. So share, subscribe, because the more shares, the better for their. I mean, it's not because we want more subscribers, but it may not be applicable to you, but it could be applicable to someone else. All right. And last but not the least is letter T on the word fast is teach it. Why? Because when you hear it, you forget. When you see it, you remember. But when you're actually teaching it, you're actually understanding it more. And that's what Miss Susie is doing. She's teaching us how to understand driver rehab. Again, thank you very much. I wish you all the best. Miss Susie, any last parting wisdom?
No,
Are you
thank you
good?
for having me, Mike. I am a huge, huge fan of yours. Keep going. I'm so inspired by what you do. Thank you to the entire group for having me. I'm tickled pink.
Well, thank you very much for answering the call and being amazing because many are called, but few are chosen. Always remember that, Facebook friends, YouTube podcast. A lot of people have been called to do this, but few are chosen. And if you feel like you're the chosen one, go make the most out of it. Because if you don't use it, you lose it. The talents that God has given us, if you're not going to use it, He's going to take it back. And He already gave us the talent to be therapists, to be amazing, whether you're a PT, an OT, or a PTA, or a coder, or speech. You got to use it. Share that knowledge, like what Miss Susie is doing. Again, thank you very much, Miss Susie. I appreciate you. Continue to be awesome. Okay, I'll see you in the summit.
Thank you.
All right, and thank you. Be awesome. Be great. Be excellent, and we'll see you. Tomorrow. I'm gonna have another interview tomorrow. Bye bye.
Bye.
I'll see you later.